Hey guys, Bart here. Welcome to TST Garage. We have a fun-filled episode for you. We've already installed a number of components on this project bike. This is a 2020 Kawasaki Z650. This installation will actually apply to the previous generation of this bike and also the Z650 model. Z650 does not differ substantially from this, so all the crash protection components actually fit and install in the same way as on this bike. In this video, we'll be mounting the Womet-Tech Frame Slider components on this bike. We have mounted the fork slider, the bar ends, and also the swing arm spools already, and all those components are actually part of the total protection pack that mounts in a simple fashion using our really nice installation videos and protects your bike in case of a fall with multi-point impact and abrasion resistance that adds to the total protection like the name suggests. These components are available individually. You can purchase just the frame sliders or all the other parts that I talked about, or you could get them in our total protection pack at a discount. All right, I'm gonna stop yapping about how wonderful these parts are. I'm gonna show you how easy they go on the bike. One thing I do have to mention is that this has to be done one side at a time. Do not loosen the motor bolts, the frame to motor connection bolts on both sides at the same time. The motor will droop and you'll have a pain in the butt sort of process that I don't really want to have to walk you through. So just follow my steps and you'll be successful. All right, so let's identify some parts. My kit here actually has shrink wrap plastic on it. Sometimes I know we have them without the shrink wrap, so let's just go through what's included on each one of these sets. This right here, you see, is the right side set. This, I'm able to tell that because the end of the spacer, the smaller diameter end of the spacer has counter bores in it, and that's meant to fit on the other side of the bike. I'll show you how that fits when we get to that side. The bolts are actually same size, so no worries there. And inside here, let's take the nut off. Obviously we have a nut because this is in this system, there's an inboard nut that comes off with the OEM bolt, and we replace it with this locking nut that goes in there. Each one of these pucks actually has a sleeve that goes in with the flange towards the outside. Whether these come pre-packed like this or separate, or maybe as you take it out of the package, they come separate for you. Now you'll be able to pre-configure the appropriate components for the appropriate side. I'm gonna be working on the left side of the bike first, so I'll show you the components that belong to this side. Nut, obviously, same thing. Long bolt, spacer, flat end, and of course, each one of these pucks has that inner sleeve I was talking about. All right, so now that we have the understanding of how this mounts together, all the parts that make each side, let's go ahead and talk about the cosmetics of this kit a little bit. The kit does arrive to you with black caps. You could use them, you could skip them. They do make a really nice accent. After mounting the screw, you block out the hole. It looks really nice. We do offer these in a number of colors. The black ones, like I said, come pre-assembled with your kit, but we do have white ones that are also made of Delrin, and then we have these aluminum anodized pieces that are available for purchase as a little upgrade. They're available in blue, silver, red, and I think gold. We have them on our website, tstindustries.com. You can check them out there. For this particular installation, we've decided to go with some red accents like you see here. We have this red ring in the fork slider. We have a red anodized bar ends, red spools in the back. And this is because this bike already has some red accents and we thought that would look pretty cool. If you don't like that, you can find your preferred color combination on our website. Let's get started with the actual wrenching. So I'm going to need a 14mm socket and some sort of a drive. I like my rotator drive. The nut on the inside is captive. The cylinder head actually has captive geometry for the nut. So as we turn counterclockwise on this screw, the nut on the inboard side will stay captive. We don't need to have a tool on it, and at some point it will pop out. Once that happens, this side of the frame to engine connection is completely loose. So this particular bike has a spacer between the frame mount and the engine. As a consequence of removing this bolt, that spacer may fall out. So if it does, we'll have to replace it. On this bike, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I worked on a Z650 a couple weeks back, and it actually did fall out. Here it doesn't seem to want to fall out. I think we're good. I extracted the nut from the inboard side, and now I need to get this bolt out. Grab my needle nose and pull out on it. It's got some friction to it. All right, that comes out. I'm gonna retain the nut that came off of it. I like to keep all my hardware. Now, grab the left side part of the kit, grab that nut, and this is a nut that has a locking feature here on the outside. So where you see it start to cone, that goes on the inboard side. So here we have the flat end of the nut and the slightly conical end. The conical end does have a locking feature, so it gets placed towards the inboard side, and the flat end goes towards the outside of our connection. Find the slot here that the nut fits into, and I'll hold it there by hand, switch over to a 17mm socket, and gently drive my bolt through until I find those threads in that nut. I'm going to engage the threads. Then I'm going to seat this connection. Once I bottom this out, I'll switch to my torque wrench. Torque wrench should be set at 29.5 foot-pounds or 40 Newton meters. All right. Now I'm going to grab one of these cosmetic caps, align the logo so that it is horizontal. And you can just press it in. I like to use a soft mallet to tap it in. That's good to go. Let's head on over to the other side of the bike and repeat this procedure there. All right, so on the right side of the bike, like I said, the spacer has several counter bores inside it, and that is for the purpose of housing the frame to head adjustment mechanism that's in there. We're going to try not to disturb that. Hopefully the engine won't droop. If you haven't loosened both of these connections, then you should be good to go. I'm going to switch back to my 14mm socket, and I'm going to start turning this bolt counterclockwise, making that nut on the inboard side come loose and come off. It's pretty much the same as the other side of the bike. That nut's here. As I turn this out, that nut will loosen all the way out, and we'll remove it. It actually comes out by itself. Keep my hardware together. All right. Let's see how we did here. All right, we have a nice fit. I'm going to switch back to my 17mm and make sure that This bolt goes all the way in. We do not want it to protrude into the slot that's meant for that nut just yet. I have, I think, 2 threads showing. Once again, locking feature towards inboard, flat end towards our bolted connection. This is a little bit more intricate to show you guys while I work, so you will not have to contort like this. All right, I got that screw just a little too far in. I need to back it up, fit my nut in there, and that's looking better now. I can start engaging that thread. Got nice thread engagement, nice and clean. I'm gonna bottom this out. Switch to my torque wrench. Still 29.5 foot-pounds, 40 Newton meters. All right. Let's finish it off with the nice red cap. Pop, pop, good to go. All right. All right, you guys, that's pretty much it. It's really simple, pretty quick. If you prepare your tools ahead of time and go through the video once or twice and you know what you're doing, it should take you no more than 5 minutes to do this entire thing. If you like what you see here and want to pick up a set of these or maybe check out some of the other components, please come to tstindustries.com. We do have a number of components for this bike. We've already released our integrated taillight. We have a fender eliminator. We have all these crash protection components and a whole host of other parts that may interest you. If not, we'll at least entertain you with some really cool photos. Our media department really turns out some great stuff, so look for it at tstindustries.com. Until next time, I'm Bart, I'm signing off. You guys ride safe, see you later.